Welcome back. We're continuing to find the slope of linear equations. Now here we're actually given a graph of several lines, linear equations, on the Cartesian plane. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pick out 2 points, at least 2 points per line, so we can compute the slope of the line. So let's get started. Let's start with letter A, this line right here, this green one. Now while we can pick any 2 points on this line, let's make things easy on ourselves. Our line passes through both axes, where one of our values for each ordered pair is going to be 0. So let's use these 2 points. It actually doesn't matter which point and point 1 and point 2. Let's use this one and this one, where they are 2 intercepts. So we have our first point is 0 and 1 minus 2. 0 minus 2. And our second point is 1, 2, and up 0. Okay, so we have 2 points on our line A. So let's go ahead and find the slope. We're going to find the difference in the y coordinates. So we have minus 2 minus 0 divided by the difference in our x coordinates. So we have 0 minus 2. That one right there. So we have a minus 2 divided by minus 2, which gives us, these negatives cancel, 2 over 2 is just 1. So the slope of this line A is 1. With every move up 1, we move over 1. Up 1 and over 1. And that's basically what a slope of 1 does for us. Let's take a look at B, this blue line. It's usually a good idea to pick 2 points that are close together. This will make our calculations easier, and remember, this actually the key to mathematics is just making things simpler. Our line goes through the origin, so let's use that one. That's just 0, 0. And if we just move up 1, we have another point here of minus 1 and 1. So keeping these numbers small makes our calculations small. The difference in our y coordinates is 0 minus 1. Difference in our x coordinates is 0 minus a minus 1. Let's be careful with our signs here. This is going to give us a minus 1 in the numerator and a 1 in the denominator, a positive 1. So our slope here is a minus 1. Okay, and this makes sense because as we're moving left on the x-axis in the negative direction, we go up 1. Or if we move positive on the x-axis, we go down 1. So it actually doesn't matter which term is the negative one. If we put the minus sign on the numerator or on the denominator, the slope is still minus 1, and actually you can see that. No matter which direction you go, the slope's going to be minus 1. So, really cool to think about. Let's look at the third one. Let's look at C, the red line. Here we actually have a horizontal line, which we know by definition has a slope of 0. But let's just be thorough and pick 2 points on it. Let's see. We have a point right here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a point 0, 6. And let's just move over 1 point. Let's do 1, 6. That would be this point right here. Let's find the difference in our y coordinates. We have a 6 minus 6 divided by the difference in our x coordinates, 0 minus 1. This one right there. We get a 0 in the numerator, a minus 1 in the denominator. So it turns out our slope is indeed 0. We don't want to assume that we have a horizontal line. We want to be thorough, and it's a good way of checking so you're not having an optical illusion or anything like that. Plug in 2 points that are on the line and find out if the slope is 0 or not. Let's look at D. Now D, this is a vertical line. Vertical lines give us an infinite or undefined slope, but for the sake of practice, let's just plug in 2 points into our slope formula. So let's see, we have a point right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have the point minus 8, 0, and let's just take the point right above it. We have the point minus 8 and 1. Let's plug it into our slope formula. We have the difference in y's, which is 0 minus 1, and the difference in x's, which is minus 8 minus a minus 8. We have a minus 1 divided by 0. Okay, and we know that when we have 0 in the denominator, that's not a slope of 0. That's called an undefined slope, or an infinite slope. Okay, so this is indeed a vertical line. Let's do E. E is this pink line here. Okay. When we're choosing 2 points, we want to pick out points whose coordinates are whole numbers. These are actually called lattice points, and while the terminology isn't really important right now, lattice points make our calculations easier, because I, for one, would rather be dealing with whole numbers than rational numbers. So let's pick out a couple whole numbers. This one goes through the origin, so we have 0, 0, and it looks like we have another point right here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the negative direction, we have a -1. So this is a -1 and a -6. It's going to be this point right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and find the slope here. We have 0 minus a -6, divided by the difference in our x coordinates. We have 0 minus a -1. Let's cancel out these negative signs. So we have a 6 over 1, or just a slope of 6. And this makes sense to have a larger number because this slope is more steep. The line's more steep, so we always want to look for little keys like that to make sure we're correct. And I did not label this one right here, but this one is a line. It keeps going in both directions, and we're going to call it F. So we have the line F here. So let's pick out 2 points. Let's say we have a point right here. This is 0 and -1. 0, -1. And we have another point right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 0. So let's plug it into our slope formula and get the slope of this brown line. We have a -1 minus 0 divided by the difference in our x coordinates. We have 0 minus 4, which gives us a -1 divided by -4. We can cancel these minus signs, and that gives us a slope of 1 over 4. So for each increase in 1 to the right, we're going up 4. Or excuse me, and with each increase of 1 going up, we're going to the right 4. Okay, so we have rise over run. Okay, so we're finding the slope here. We're given lines on the Cartesian plane. We want to learn how to pick out really good points to make life easier on ourselves. Anytime we can have it goes to the origin, that's an easy point because we're just adding and subtracting 0. Makes things a lot easier. Anytime we can choose smaller points, that makes calculations a lot easier. And anytime we can pick whole numbers, that always make things easier because I'd rather deal with that than fractions. So practice this a few more times, go over them, and I'll see you in the next video.